keep us alive. Over. Hey, Johnny Ann, no, we do not. In fact, most of our water comes from us. It comes from our urine, and we recycle that water. And so I think we're in the 80-90%, somewhere around there, that we're able to recycle. And so we don't have to ration, and we drink and use it for our food as much, and hygiene as much as we need to. Over. Because we actually get trained as medical officers, even if you don't have that formal training as part of your background. I'm actually not one of those medical officers on board, but the 3 crewmates I came up with, Victor, Shannon, and Suichi, all are trained as medical officers. Over. Hey, Bo, you know, one of the things we always do when we have a little bit of free time is it's just to get in touch with your family. And so that's one of the things I like to do. And then the other great thing is, you know, I'm staying in SpaceX Crew Dragon Resilience, and it has windows. And so when I'm in my crew quarters and I'm talking to my family, I actually get to not only relieve stress by talking to them, but then I'm also looking down at them. That's a great feeling as well. Over. Yeah, Jared, you know, sleeping is a little bit different up here. If, you know, if you've had a long day and you remember and you're really tired and you lay down, it feels really good to just kind of get the load off your feet. Well, up here, we never have a load on our feet, so you never get that kind of same sensation. So it does always feel like you're floating a little bit, even though you kind of strap yourself down in your sleeping bag. But is it comfortable? Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. Not too bad at all. Over. Anicia, yes, that's the most important thing we do when we go out on a spacewalk. And so we always have to be attached by 2 points. And so when we first go out the door, we put down what we call a safety tether. And that goes with, it's a big reel that as we're moving around station, it reels out this long cable. And then the other point of contact is always our hands, or once we get to a work site, we can put down another safety tether or waist tether to make sure we have those 2 points of contact always with station. Over. Deanna, that's a great question. Launch was absolutely unbelievable, and yes, our training did a great job of getting us ready for that. But you know, we can't simulate what it's actually like, the G-loads and just the vibrations and all that. It's really hard to simulate that, so you just do sim practice again and again, and so the procedures you're pretty familiar with, but then the actual feeling is something that you can only experience on the launch itself. Over. Yeah, so my preferred exercise on Earth is basically lifting weights and running. And yes, I can do both of those on ISS. We do have a treadmill, and we have a weightlifting device that uses the vacuum, basically a cylinder that we take the vacuum and we can pull against that vacuum. And it works really well. We can do all the normal lifts like squats and deadlifts and bench press, etc. Over. That's a funny question. So, you know, one of the things about microgravity in space is the simple things become hard, and that is definitely one of them. It can always be a little bit messier up here in the microgravity environment. Do you get used to it? Yes. But I think that is one of the things that I'm not going to miss whenever I have to come back to Earth, and that's having to use the toilet facility up here. Over. What a wonderful question. We actually have a lot of plants growing on station right now. We've got peas, we've got basil, we've got pak choi, we've got mustard. You know, if I had my choice, would be my first choice, but then I'd also love to be able to grow a flower while I was up here and take it home to my wife afterwards. Over. You know, very fortunate I've never had a malfunction with our spacesuits, but today we are actually doing a leak check on our spacesuits for the two that are going to go on spacewalks this weekend, and we didn't pass one of the leak checks, so we did have to just troubleshoot, and one of the things that means is you just take piece by piece off and just verify that there's nothing that's stuck in between the seals or that nothing that's broken. Over. Impact COVID-19 had on our space travel was the before and the after. So before launch, we certainly had to make some adjustments in how we trained, and also we had to be in quarantine a little extra just to make sure we didn't bring COVID up here. The same thing's going to happen when we come back, because one of the impacts of microgravity is our immune system becomes compromised, and so we have to be very careful when we come back to Earth. Over. And November Alpha 7 Victor, this is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra. It sounds like I've lost communication, but if you guys are still hearing me, absolutely great questions, had a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us on board the International Space Station, and this is November Alpha 1 Sierra Sierra, over and out.